Howdy, I am Alice Berry, and a lot of you know me as Jim Berry's little sister, or Jim Berry's little sister. I started falling into the scene because Jim was the sound man at Raoul's and Duke's and Butthole Surfers, etc. But I was a sorority girl also, and some of you knew that, and some of you laughed, and some of you thought it was terrible, and were mean, and other people who realized, hey, we're all misfits, and she feels like a misfit there, and we're going to welcome her in. So I thank those who realized I kind of didn't fit in. And in a funny way, I'm starting a new phase of my life now because I just retired, and so now I don't have to worry if I drop any F-bombs or other words and it's being recorded, because I won't lose my job. And so I'm going to be quoting some people tonight. So one of the first stories, I was living at Tri-Towers, and they didn't really know at the desk about my other life because I was changing in the car on the way and putting on my fishnets and all, and then getting down to Raoul's and then changing clothes on the way back. But little Dana wanted to come and visit me one day, and she dressed like she dresses and like I dressed when I was at Raoul's, and she gets to the desk and they won't let her in, and she makes it clear that they are going to let her in, and she just marches to the elevator, and as it closes she just says, "Bite my dick," and boom, and up. That was the mic drop in those days. We didn't have mic drop then. So I appreciated that little Dana, that the Texas Blondes, that all these other people said, yes, come on in, be part of us. I had other friends defend me when I was bridging into this. We were at a Droog show, and my wonderful friend Laura, who was from New York and also from a nice family, but also was diving down with me. She was a little better at the dive, and she was kind of a better scrapper. There was a woman at the time who hated me. She called me Barbie because I would dress rockabilly for rockabilly shows and punk rock for punk rock shows, and I didn't get the memo that you have to choose a persona and you're not allowed to change, so I didn't care. But she cared, and so she would push me into the crowd. You know, I'd find cigarette burns on my clothes, etc. And this one particular Droog show, they were the opening act. It was almost the end, and Laura was getting really sick of this woman who has later apologized to me, which is why I'm not going to say her name. But she kept pushing, and Laura was finally, "Alice, go get me something to drink. I want something sticky and sweet." So I came back with a Coca-Cola, and with the next shove, Laura, oops, splashed the Coke in her face, and a cat fight ensued right in front of the Droogs, who it was their very last song. And actually kind of ended the song because there's an amazing cat fight going on, and Laura was good, and she was like landing punches, and this other girl was just kind of scratching. I mean, it was really a cat fight. Her husband came and finally dragged her out, and as they were walking out the back of the Ritz Theater there, she finally yells out, "I'm gonna get you, Alice Berry!" And Laura yelled out, "Suck my cunt, bitch!" And Alan Droog found Laura. He beelined for Laura, and he's like, "Oh my God, I almost came in my pants when you said suck my cunt, bitch. Do you want to join the band?"
Alice, you can't say that.
I can say those words now because I retired. She did not join the band, however. Last little bit of my transition, I was also the Duchess of Houston for Austin Aquafest. Yes, the little parade down the water and the wave. I'm not going to talk about the second night when I took my bow and then went to the Psychedelic Furs. Going to talk about the first night beforehand. And I had a hotel room there at the Sheraton. All of the duchesses and the princesses and the queen had a room at the Sheraton. And I was living in Austin, but hey, why not use the room for the after party for the Rock Hats show at Club Foot? So yes, we had the after party at the Sheraton where all of the other girls who were debuting that night were there and their families and etc. So at one point I had over 50 people in my hotel room with its 2 double beds, and my then roommate Rob Jacks used to work. You know this will be good, right? So Rob used to work at the Sheraton, so he sneaks down to the kitchen and steals a 5-gallon thing of vanilla ice cream and some bottles of booze that showed up somewhere. The authorities came and told us to be quiet or leave, and told us to be quiet or leave, and By the third time, yes, we had to leave. And I look around, and Helen McDonald had kicked out a hole in the wall with her spike-heeled shoes, which I thought was pretty cool, actually. But I went home, and then the next day, my parents show up to town, and so we all show up at the hotel together. And, oh, honey, let's see your room. Oh, yeah, okay. And we go to my room. Oh, my goodness, it is so dirty. Why didn't they clean my room before I got here? My parents never said anything. To this day, I mean, surely they got charged. I don't know. But my happy moment about that was being in the elevator, and I hear some of the other girls from Aquafest saying, "Oh my God, did you see all those punk rockers here last night? Because Van Halen was staying here last night. I bet that was their party." And I just said to myself, no, that was the Duchess of Houston's party.